Did you know that your level of elevation changes how you perceive time? Crazy. And I think it's so interesting because we have this common narrative within spiritual spaces about elevation. At least that's a part of the world that I come from and that I practice with. In the highest elevation, you know, may there be elevation for such and such and so, and however you may grow it. But literally, they've done research, and it's thanks to Carlo Rovelli. Yep. Yeah. And his book, The Order of Time, that I know this. So if you're interested, that's where I got it from. It's about quantum time loop gravity. I've been doing a lot of reading recently. In spiritual spaces, kind of getting back to that. And I want to talk about Saturn in this also, because Saturn is the god of time and has to do with laws of things like gravity. Crazy, okay? So we're going to get there in a second. But if you're looking at elevation, it's interesting to me how we talk about old souls. Right? Okay. Are you following what I'm putting down? Because it's kind of interesting. People who work within those elevated spaces in spirit usually have experienced a lot of life. Like a lot of things have happened in the time that they have been here. Also, if we want to look at it in a metaphysical way, the lifetimes which this is like in the fray of physics and science stuff, but in the spiritual things, it makes sense, you know? When we talk about like coming back to this life and then our previous lifetime, people who have been here for multiple different lifetimes and have been here for a long time, it makes sense that within those elevations they carry more gravity or more mass, more density, speed also, because more time has been experienced. It's pretty crazy. So then if we're looking at Saturn and like the astrological kind of breakdown of things, the Saturn placement in your chart, one of the ways that you can work with it is helping to understand how is it that I personally experience time. Why? That's a wild thing because we all experience time different. You ever sat down and had a conversation with someone and been like, oh my God, 4 hours went by, it felt like 30 minutes. Like our perception of time is so different depending on the situation that we're in or the people that we're around, because the people that we're around and the situations that we're in and the places that we are change how we perceive time, which is crazy. It's such an insane thought to me. That's just insane. There's also no equation, at least that I'm aware of, that is what is stated in this book. So since this book has been published, if it's any different, somebody let me know. But as far as I know, there's no equation thus far within our current state of science that tells us the difference between past, present, and future when we're talking specifically about time. Wild. Anyways, going back to Saturn, how you perceive time, the house that your Saturn is in, that's going to be the area of life where that time gravity can be altered. So say that you have Saturn in the 4th house, your home, your living situation, what is the home like? Payments of home, are you paying for anything? Is it a free living situation, which in today's world is a little bit rare, but it's a thing that happens. So, you know, how is that? What does that look like? And then if you need to alter the other times that you're experiencing with your job and your friends and your family and literally anywhere else, then you would go spend time with the home and alter the home, change yourself in the home, and your experience of time in those other areas of life will also be different. There's literally so many other ways that this is applicable. Enough that my brain went blank a little bit, so we'll just stick to one for now. But I think it's really interesting. Time gravity is like, I love it, to learning about it. The philosophy of time is really interesting to me. So as a time magician, 'tis a gift, I suppose. Lots more to come on that, but I'm gonna make a shift. Maybe this is my semi-soft launch announcement. I don't know. But I'm gonna start talking about more things than astrology. Happy eclipse season! There we go. If you have seen me on your page before, on your For You page before, you've already followed me, you know that I'm mostly about magic and astrology. However, my focus of learning has shifted a little bit. I've been super heavy focused on astrology, and I've learned that system and have kind of brought it into the forefront. Before I was doing astrology, though, I was working on a bunch of other stuff when it came to spiritual things. My focus tends to change every couple of years, and so now that we've been a couple years in astrology, I'm not going to totally quit on you, okay? I'm still going to bring information as it's necessary. Also, though, we're shifting gears. So with open ears, if you want to shift gears, we've got more information coming in because I've started reading a whole bunch of books again. I'm in sponge mode right now, thankfully. I'm in a lot of other modes too with what life has asked me to do recently. It is. But anyway, that's the update. Gratitude, reverence, and love to you. More about time philosophy soon. I have a list of books up on my website if you want to send me something else to read, because I kind of flew through this one. I read like 4/5 of it in a day. So if you want to send some stuff, I have other books I'd like to order. If you want to support the thing that I do, that would be pretty cool, and I'm really grateful. Thank you. because this was also a gift, and you know who you are. Thank you for sending this to me. I was really grateful for this. A couple other books I've been reading about zero and time theories, so more on that soon. What else you got? Anything else we need to talk about in this one? I think just gratitude, reverence, and love to you. Thanks for being here while I make this shift. Thanks for being here in the shift. As a Scorpio stellium who is Saturn ruled, when I make changes, literally everything in my life changes also. Because I'm shifting gears, here has to also alter a little bit, so I appreciate the continued support. And if you stick around, we're going to start to talk about some weird metaphysical stuff. Here we go. Keep up the brew you do. I will too. And I'll talk to you soon. Happy eclipse season again. Also true.